Hi everyone, my name is Brian. I have made over $2,000 in the past month on TikTok. The US government just announced a bill to ban TikTok forever from the US or sell it to an American company. And here are my thoughts on TikTok in general, making content, making money. For clarity, I use the Creative Program Beta, which is TikTok's way of trying to strip away long form video customers from other platforms, having seen that Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts have been taking short form users away from TikTok. So if you have a certain amount of criteria, I think it's 10,000 followers, and then a certain amount of likes or viewing hours, and then you start posting videos or clips longer than a minute, you start generating money from those clips. So as you see, I've made $2,023.28 in the past 30 days, and all time, it hasn't been that long since I've been monetized 2240.33. I've been monetized since early January, let's say. On the daily, I think I make around $100, and each of my clips range from anywhere from 100 to most earned clip $400, and these RPMs vary in nature depending on, I think, what kind of content it is. I make Korean culture news content on TikTok, and basically I'm sure you've seen me at some point if you're on TikTok of saying craziest news in Korea, and I talk about various things all the way from K-pop to politics to doctor strikes to hot Korean fireman calendars. All of that to say, I've clearly hit this niche that I can just keep producing without having the need for originality. Kind of similar to how I started YouTube and talk about banking, not really me being funny or anything, but just delivering information, and I kind of find this hack. So here are my three big picture ideas in having established $2,000 per month or whatever metric you think that's cool for. I have about 25,000 followers, 3 million likes, and here is my insights. Number one question is this sustainable? Like, could I make this money continuously? And the cliche answer is I don't know. I think that I've clearly hit something that I don't need to continue banging my head against the wall for something funny. I think that's the hardest thing to do, to be original. I think the greatest thing to do is either be super attractive and you yourself is endless content until you grow old and weary, or something like me where you're just simply a medium, you're a channel, you're kind of like a news channel, and as long as the news exists, you're fine. Unless a better version of you comes out, a handsome, younger, more eloquent, more time, better editing, better camera version of me that does exactly this and has fluency over Korean and Americanness and English comes out, I think I'm fine. Like I could see this going on forever. And as long as TikTok doesn't disappear or TikTok gets rid of this creative program or whatever, both of which are now on the horizon, I can probably do this till the end of life. Is this going to get to a $10,000 a month sustainable, I can support myself in New York kind of thing? Maybe not, but I think it's going to get the views and I'm going to get some kind of side hustle money continuously. So sustainability up in the air in terms of like legality of TikTok being in the US and me not being a losing spot compared to someone that's marginally better than me, but I think that's fine. The harder part, I think, of TikTok and growing content in general is that people aren't really creator loyal. Like no one really cares about me. In fact, I've never really been recognized off TikTok, maybe once or twice. Far more recognized still off YouTube, even though my views are dead, because people find them on For You pages. And I'm not Brian Jen, the creator on TikTok. I'm just the Korean news guy that they probably can't even recognize in real life because I just go like this and it's my face. I'm not really a personality. So I can easily be replaced. Sustainability, half and half. Second question, am I making impact? Like, am I making good impact in the world? I would like to say my YouTube made good impact. Like opened access to college kids that probably didn't have information about banking before. That was gate kept by the banking lords that wanted to keep it prestigious. I think I made some kind of impact. And I made a good impact in career consulting and people at least felt empowered to a certain degree. Delivering Korean news, most of which is negative because TikTok likes negativity and polarization. There's a lot of weird people on TikTok too. I don't know if that's good impact. I don't know what impact I'm having by almost making Korea look bad a lot of times. So I've been trying to mix it up and putting good stuff about it too. But people like viral negative things. So I'm almost incentivized to talk about negative things and crazy news and bad news, disturbing news. And I don't know if that's necessarily good impact. The other side of it is I am growing an influenced following, and more as I get more views and more followers, people reach out to me and say, can you cover this? Or why do you think this way even though I think this way? That's positive in my opinion in opening discourse, but overall spreading negative news about Korea, probably not good impact. But growing influence that I could possibly use for later, maybe good impact. Third thing that I want to talk about is TikToks versus Instagram Reels versus YouTube Shorts. I think people maybe struggle with this as a content creator or if you're a micro influencer. For reference, I'm not a content creator full time. This is a side hobby, so this doesn't matter to me too much. But if you're trying to do this full time, I think this does matter. Let me simplify it for you, at least from what I've seen. TikTok, number one for virality. I think anyone can go viral on TikTok. Hard to sustain that, as I said, because there's less of a creator loyalty because of the For You page. But virality, number one. Toxic, number one. People are very toxic. I think it attracts a more toxic crowd. A lot of people that are just on the internet all day. TikTok is not only their playground, but their living ecosystem. Not very healthy. The comments, I post the exact same videos on TikTok and Instagram, and the reactions are vastly different. TikTok is definitely more toxic than Instagram. Instagram's still not that great, but compared to TikTok, it's nothing. So virality, number one. This creative program or whatever, great for revenue generating if you're doing a minute longer, and then just overall toxic place for comments. Instagram is slightly less toxic because a lot of people have their real face and name associated with it. I think Instagram has a bit more people that have like real lives, so there's less of a toxic nature to it, but not much monetization opportunities unless you get gifted or like major sponsorship, at least as far as I know. And less virality, but more creator loyalty. The following definitely shapes, and there's more comments, at least anecdotally, of people like, oh, I love your content, I keep following. Whereas TikTok, not much creator loyalty. YouTube Shorts, far more professional in nature, and there's not like YouTube Shorts creators that much. There are, but I don't think it's to the extent of creator TikTok and Instagram, and you're kind of competing with like the big names already who are just producing short versions of their existing big content as opposed to grassroots YouTube Shorts creators. And then obviously monetization is Google's whole thing. So overall, I think you get viral on TikTok, post the same things on Instagram, grow a following, become more professional there, and then maybe transfer all those views into YouTube later, kind of the Jake Paul, Logan Paul model that they did for their virality. Closing thoughts in terms of TikTok in general, I think it eats your life sometimes because you constantly want to gamify and beat the views of the videos before, and people that aren't used to views kind of gets that high off of TikTok because truly anyone can get spontaneously TikTok famous. And I think TikTok knows that. They feed you fame every once in a while, kind of as a dopamine hit, so that not only the consumers keep watching it, but the creators keep creating on it. And even I have fallen into that trap. But if you're able to sustain that separation and you're okay with the fact that you are not necessarily in this for a career, but just like, well, I'd say maybe like short-term famous or like wanting the reactions of people, seeing what people have to think about certain things, then I think it's pretty healthy. Don't get too lost in it. Like even I, as someone who's like a news deliverer, get like anti-comments or like anti-comments and saying like, oh, like you're ugly or like your voice is not understandable. Sure. But if I get that, if you're going for more like an aesthetics thing or like a lifestyle thing, I'm sure it'll come at even more. So be careful. TikTok is very toxic in that nature. I think YouTube is still my home ground. I like talking about things that I actually want to talk about. Long form content is far better for me to express myself. I do miss the creativity that I had slightly on YouTube, whereas TikTok, I'm really just delivering information with a slight opinion take. Again, the US might get TikTok off its shores soon, so I don't know what's going to happen there, but I'm going to try to make revenue as long as possible and kind of grow that following, and then hopefully it funnels into YouTube for things that I actually really, really, really want to talk about. So thanks for watching. If you see me on TikTok, holler at me, follow my Instagram too, and yeah, know that I'm making money off these things, and so can you. In the time that you consume, please create, and I'll see you guys next time. Let's go.